I think that's a political choice in terms of what are we going to share as humans, right? So imagine that AI was as effective as Sam Altman says it is. It is not, obviously. And all of a sudden, 90% of the jobs are gone. And like, oh, great. Wow. Everyone's super productive. We can go and just, I don't know, jack off all day, whatever the fuck you're going to do. And, and so, but you had this thing called a mortgage and a car payment, and you had this thing called rent, and you don't have a job anymore. And so the question is, okay, well, is the government going to mandate that private profits must go to the populace because now everyone's so productive? But then the people who own those companies are, well, hold on a second. I'm Facebook. I just dropped fucking $1 trillion in CapEx. I want my fucking returns. Why am I now giving, universal basic income to all these motherfuckers who weren't investing while this AI thing was happening? I don't want to share. So then, okay, well, then what are you going to do about that? Are you going to just take away private profits and distribute them to people? I don't know. But again, that's a political question depending on where you're based. Or you were fortunate enough to have financial assets and you invested in crypto or AI or whatever, and you've done very, very well. And then there's all these people who weren't, in your case, you believe you were smarter than them or better than them because you have more money, whether or not that's true. Are you going to share? Oh, let's put a 99% tax rate on all capital gains and dividends so that everyone else can share in this amazing AI revolution and productivity boom. Do you want to share? Probably not. And so I think then the question is, okay, well, it's going to be very difficult for the government to politically expropriate assets from those who are in power already to essentially allow everyone to live this utopian lifestyle because of AI. Then what do? You just print a fuck ton of money and hand everybody out and then keep the capital structure the same. And so either you have a massive deflationary event and asset holders are completely wiped out, or you have a massive inflationary event which continues the same social structure, but then the asset holders feel like they've gotten something out of a return for their prescient investing behavior. Again, a political choice. I don't know. But if I had to bet, I bet on the government not wanting to rock the boat, and they're just going to print the money to, paper over this big boom, and then maybe we decide to share as humans in this AI and this new ecosystem. So it could be a completely, risk off event, which everything's worth zero, or it could be a risk on event where everything's worth infinity. And I don't know what that is.
Do you underrate the probability of that political decision the same between, say, the US and Asia, and specifically like Korea, where we hear now? Like, I know you're a big fan of Asia. You live in Asia. We're here in Korea, but you write a lot about the US, and there's a lot of that inherent cynicism around, we're just going to, print a ton of money and throw it away and that sort of like. So, do you view that as an even probability of governments to resort to that, or how do you think about it?
I see you're probably more likely to share over here in a more community-driven society than America. But even still, I think there's an inherent belief that because you have more money, you have done something better than somebody else, whether that's you've studied harder in school or your family is just quote unquote better than somebody else's family. And I think that's going to be a very difficult thing for humanity to overcome, because now we've achieved this sort of plateau of productivity and we're calling upon those who've done the best to share with everyone else, even though they intrinsically believe that they're better than them. So I don't think that goes away just because you have a flatter income distribution structure. Even in China, there's, the princelings and those who are very, very rich who believe they're better than everyone else because of the decisions that they've made. I don't know how we're going to get over that without some calamitous political infighting globally.